Meanwhile, New York State is in a high-stakes fight with the federal government over the state's counterterrorism funding being slashed by more than $180 million.
Well, our Capitol correspondent Jamie DeLine speaking with the state's Homeland Security Commissioner about how this massive cut will impact public safety across New York.
This makes New York less safe. It makes America less safe.
Jackie Bray, the commissioner of the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services, says millions of dollars in counterterrorism funding was cut by the federal government, impacting the NYPD, FDNY, and New York State counties and cities.
We know that when we're talking about ISIS or Al-Qaeda directed or inspired attacks, New York stands frankly alone in a bad way as the really #1 target in the country.
She says New York State also ranks high in domestic threats. According to the commissioner, back in August, the state was notified of an $87 million or 40% cut in funding. However, it turned out to be much more.
We obviously were concerned about it, didn't agree with it, but we did have notice and warning. But instead of cutting us 40%, they cut us 86%. Virtually defunding counterterrorism efforts in New York State.
Governor Kathy Hochul recently sent a letter to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security demanding more transparency and to reverse the decision. Hochul cited that the federal government staff claimed the original decrease in money was based on a formula. However, she wants to know why an additional $100 million was cut. I reached out to the federal government about the reasoning behind the funding cut. I received a statement saying in part, quote, FEMA is focused on aligning its grant programs with the Trump administration's priorities to streamline federal resources and reduce the burden on the American taxpayer. It went on to say New York City has long been the largest recipient of funding, about 30% of all money given, saying, quote, our goal is to ensure communities remain secure while making the system more effective and accountable, moving away from the fraud, waste, and abuse of the past. New York joined a lawsuit with 11 other states against the U.S. Department of Homeland Security over the funding cuts. A judge recently issued a temporary restraining order in favor of the states. Reporting in Albany, I'm Jamie DeLine.